Hey Rose, guess what happened last night?
What?
We reached 300 subscribers.
Yay!
So what do we say?
Thank you very much for subscribing.
Yes, and a thank you from me too. So here's to the next 100, however long that takes to get. Hello to everybody that's new, and hello to everybody that's been with us a while. Thank you very much. Let's get on with today's video. Okay, so you will have noticed that many YouTube gardeners are doing a what to sow in February video, and so it's Valentine's Day today, 14th of February, and just want to show you what we're doing. And before I go through the seeds, I mean I've picked up seeds from here, there and everywhere, but I have got some from Browns, and I sent off for this catalogue, which is a good comprehensive catalogue, but what I really liked on the inside was this growing record. So it's got here a whole list. It's got bits about crop rotation and stuff as well. But the middle section of this book is actually quite big. It's got, you write down what you've sown in each bed. And there are 8 beds. You've got a weekly diary there in the middle. Spring, summer, autumn and winter. You've got some graph paper to show your beds, to plot them out. And then at the end you've got a review for the year, so you can write down what didn't do so well, what to do differently next year, what you want more of, less of next year. And then it's got a harvest chart as well. So I thought that was really nice to have in the middle. We normally do our records on the computer, as you would have seen in other videos. So I'm just going to show you what I've got out of my February pile. Oh, actually, so when they come from Browns, they come in a good box, a letterbox size box, so that's nice. And every packet you get comes with a free label as well. They do have an offer of free seeds. I wasn't bothered whether we got the free seeds or not, because I'd ordered what I wanted, and they'd actually run out, which I didn't mind. So what we have got, I've got my Inca berries. Now they did really well last year. It was the first year I've grown them, and I'm not sure if they are frost hardy, and we've had loads of snow, so I don't know whether they would have survived. And I think I've only got a couple of seeds left in there, 3 or 4 seeds, so I'm just going to sow those and have them as a backup. I've got some more chilies, red hot rod. The chilies that we sowed a couple of weeks ago are doing really well. So those are the ones I'm going to sow today. Also today I want to sow these cauliflower. These are actually purple ones, graffiti. So I thought that would be fun for Rose. I've got some spring cabbage, some lettuce, ordinary cabbage. I won't be sowing that today. Some basil. That won't be today. Goji berries. Can't wait to do these. These actually take 2 years before they harvest, but looking forward to doing those. Brussels sprouts. We didn't sow these last year. That was because in 2019 we grew so many, and they were all a fantastic success. We had Brussels sprouts coming out of our ears for quite a long time into last year, but we've run out, so now's the time to re-sow. And I've also got some French beans, Boston, that can be sown now. Oh, and I've got a leek. I did order 2 leeks, and this was a slightly earlier one, the Stromboli. So I shall sow this one now, and then the other one I shall successionally sow later on. Right, I've got 2 trays like this of my Beggars Can't Be Choosers compost, and I've looked at what I said I was going to sow today, and I've just added in the Brussels sprouts because I can do the Brussels sprouts, the spring greens, the cauliflower and the lettuce, just 2 rows of each on these. So I've got my seeds out. I'm just going to plant those while I chat. These only need to go very shallow, these. So sorry we've not had a video for a couple of weeks. I was in the middle of making a video, and it was about what we're doing down the plot with regards to the compound, or shanty town, I think somebody said to call it. So we were doing quite well with that. We've taken down the big goat willow, or most of the goat willow. There's one big branch left. We've chopped it right back, or Nick chopped it right back. Then I hurt my back trying to move some of the branches. So, and it's still very painful. In fact, I'm standing up in the kitchen doing this now, and it's smarting a bit just standing up in the kitchen. So yes, it won't be long before I can get back down there, but in the meantime this happened. So that was quite fun, and we've not been down since. Went down to take the photograph, but didn't actually go down onto our plot. I then fell over in the snow, which didn't help matters. I'm getting too old to fall over in the snow. Proper splat it was as well. So, but I'm on the mend, and in the meantime we can sow some things indoors. I'm now sowing the spring cabbage, which is Duncan. You can harvest this as a spring cabbage, or you can leave it to grow on as a normal cabbage. And I'm just popping one in each cell, because if they don't all take, it's fine. I mean, I'm doing 10 of each. I shall successionally sow as well, but we will be looking this year to preserve more of our stuff as well. So that's the cabbage done. And now moving on to the cauliflower. As you can see, all the seeds are the same, so you don't want to get them all out at the same time. With regards to the preserving that we do, is that something you'd like to see more videos of, or is it you'd like just to see gardening stuff? I'm in a few groups on Facebook, and I know that people either give away their gluts or they just go to waste a lot of the time, or they put them in the freezer, and that's about as far as it goes. But of course there's different methods of preserving, and you know, I think it's a shame we put all this effort in, and it is nice to share with friends and family, of course. Last year, of course, that was rather impossible to do, but certainly down here in Kent we haven't seen anybody to give produce to. But you know, certainly for us, part of our mission with gardening, growing our own, isn't just to, you know, have a little bit. It's to provide food for us, and you know, it's fresher and healthier and tastier, as you all know. So why shouldn't we have that for as long a time around the year as we can? That's the idea. So now I love pickles and ferments, but Nick doesn't. But we've discovered over this last year that he doesn't mind like a Japanese ferment, so we can do that with cabbages and things like that. In actual fact, I have to tell him to stop eating my kimchi if I want to make soup, and there's only one jar left in the fridge. So I'm glad that's a hit, and I've actually got the Napa cabbage to grow this year, which must be in another month's pile because it certainly wasn't in January or February's. Over Christmas, Rose and I went through all of our seeds and we set them out into what we want to grow this year, and then we put them into the month piles, and then they go into a pot into our box with elastic bands around them with a month tag on them. So that's what we do, and hopefully we can do more, sort of be more self-sufficient. Last year's successes was, I suppose the big success was sweet corn actually. We've still got some in the freezer now, which is good. We don't, we haven't been having it, so that's obviously helped. But there are some things that are nicer frozen, there are some things that are nicer dried. Something that we've discovered this year I'm just doing the little gem now. Something we've discovered this year has been, I've got a grinder and I dehydrated some carrots and I've got dehydrated kale. And normally what I do, I've also got leeks and spring onions as well. If I'm having a soup, like a clear soup, I just, hot water with a miso paste or something. I just go into the pantry and grab some of the dried food, stick it in, and by the time it's cool enough for me to eat, the stuff has rehydrated and it's nice. But what I did was I got the carrots and the kale and I blitzed them up into not quite a powder but quite fine, and we use that as a rice seasoning, which is good. We have a lot of sushi and Buddha bowls and things like that, and it's good just to have it as like a condiment really. It's an extra way of preserving. I was hoping to get a canner this January sales, Black Friday that had just gone, but no one predicted COVID, and of course everybody went self-sufficient mad. We can only import them from America, so it's been virtually impossible to get hold of one. So I can do water bathing, I can do dehydrating and freezing at the moment. Water bathing is okay if you've got something that's acidic, like tomatoes. So last year we had like over 30 odd tomato plants, and they're actually in the freezer, because what I was doing was I was harvesting them and putting them in the freezer as an alternative to blanching to get the skins off, and then I'm going to can them all at once. Because there are times when you're only picking 3 or 4 a day, and then another time, at the other end of the harvest you've only got 3 or 4 then as well. So this was a way of making sure when I canned I did the whole lot, and then I forgot and they're in the freezer, so I do need to can them up. Let me know if you want to see a video on that. That's something you can do at home if you've just got a deep pan. You can do that, and it's a way of saving freezer space if you've got the shelf space. Right, just writing the lettuce label, and it's the 14th of February. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. There we go. So they're all sown. I shall put them on a warm windowsill. And now I'm going to sow some more chilies and start on the goji berries. And now we are ready to grow our goji berries. James Wong says they are incredibly easy to grow. I'm going to hold you up to that, James. And the seeds are very tiny. They remind me of Inca berry seeds actually. I'm just going to put them on the top of the soil here. As I said earlier, these do take 2 years from sowing to harvest, but that's okay. We're also growing asparagus, planting asparagus this year. And it's funny, if ever you ask about it, people say, oh, it takes a long time, you know. Yes, we do know. And actually that's fine, because we could say, no, it takes a long time, and then in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, you think, well, I could have grown my asparagus. Right, I was just looking for some compost to sprinkle over the top. I really don't like this Levington's. Plastic in it and all sorts, and it's just horrible big chunks. I don't even know what that is. Just a bit of wood. Okay. Right, so that's those done. And next, in the tray next to it, I'm going to just put these hot raw chilies. Many in the packet, actually. What is, oh, 10 seeds. Funny packet. It's like a grease-proof paper. It's different for Suttons. Okay, I'll just stick these in. So let me know what you think. Do you want to see some more preserving videos when the time comes? Or cooking videos? We've done a few of those. What do you think? I won't be offended either way. Just it is, I think it's, personally, I think it's quite a big part of growing. Certainly with us, you know, we do no dig. We probably spend more time processing our food than we do growing it, actually, because we don't do any digging. It's quick, it's easy, and we get high yields with it. So yeah, so for us personally, the processing is just as important for us. So let me know. Right, I'm going to leave the video there today, because that's all I've got to do. I was going to have a look at I had some potatoes left over from Christmas, and I was going to have a look at those, and I knew they had got really long, thin shoots on them. That was from being just put in a cupboard, so they were just left over. I've still got some Christmas potatoes out in buckets in the garden, actually, and they've had snow on the top, so I don't know if they'll be okay. But what's happened to the ones I was keeping, I did see a fantastic video actually by Tony O'Neill over at Simplify Gardening the other day, and he was saying if you have the long spindly shoots on your potatoes, just knock them off, and some more shoots will grow, because you do want the thick, short ones for strength. And I've just gone to get them, and they have all shriveled up. I'll show you. Let's get one look. No good for anything now. And you know, it's fine, because I hadn't bought them for this time of year. I bought them for our Christmas potatoes, and they did okay, and I just had a few left. So now I shall go and see what potatoes we're going to get for this year. We will do them the no dig way again. I'm not going to grow any other way now with potatoes. That was absolutely fantastic. Check out our video on that. I'll put the link in the description box for that, because it's just the easiest and best way to grow potatoes, I think, especially if you don't like digging. And for us, it was an easy way to earth up. The potatoes were clean, and I think the best thing about doing it in the method that we grew was that you could leave the baby potatoes in, and they could grow. So you've got a much bigger harvest than if you would just dug them up or emptied out your buckets, because then the potatoes just go in the bin. But using this method, you could leave them to grow on and just keep harvesting. It was great. Right, so I'm going to end the video there. I shall have a look at, while I'm editing this one, I shall have a look at the one I was doing about down the allotment, and if it makes sense or it's a decent place that I can stop the video, I'll upload that one as well. But if it's not, then I shall just leave it and continue filming when we can get down the allotment again. So that's all from me today. Thanks for joining us. See you later. Bye.